What's up, dude? How are you doing?
I am, dude, things are really cool considering.
Yeah?
Like, like obviously everything's weird for everyone, but
Right.
despite like everything going on, things have been really cool. I've got a 20-month-old daughter.
Oh,
I
wow.
don't know if you know that. Yeah,
I
my
don't know
wife
that. I
was
didn't know
yeah,
that.
my wife was pregnant last time I saw you. Yeah.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, isn't that
Congrats.
crazy? Yeah. That's funny. I didn't mention it to you. Well, it's because I almost died that night, but
Right.
I like I guess that's why. But uh yeah, so she's like sneaking up on being two, and so that's insanely fun, and we've
Awesome.
got a bunch of cool stuff going on. So yeah.
That's sick. Well, all right. So, I mean, I should have started off with saying that you are the guitarist and vocalist of the band Tigerwine, which are an incredible fucking band out of Colorado Springs. How would you describe Tigerwine's sound to someone who hasn't heard you guys before?
Dude, thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Uh I guess so. There is I would it's funny, I always say that it is kind of dependent on who's asking.
Uh-huh.
I like when people my parents age ask, I tell them it's like if Nirvana was like more emotionally like worse, but but
That
like
fits. That fits.
to people my age, I just kind of say we are like Steve, who writes like almost all of the guitar and all the riffs and everything like that, is
Okay.
he and I both listened to super similar music when we were younger. And I would just say our band is just like a love letter to every band we've ever been into. So like our favorite bands were like As Cities Burn, and I was like unbelievably into Under Oath, and Steve loved Thrice as
Oh,
a kid,
fuck
and we
yeah.
were yeah, absolutely. And like he and I were both pastors' kids as well, and so we were products of that world as well. So
Nice.
yeah, so I guess all of that is kind of at play there, but it's we always like find ourselves not being able to help being like having parts be really heavy and really
Mhm.
distorted and big and stuff. So like a lot of, I guess, more recently in our lives, like in college, Steve and I were super into a bunch of like really shoegazy stuff. And so, yeah, I think we, whether we try to or not, I guess we kind of end up pointing back towards bands and records that like we love. So, and I'm sure like that's such a not groundbreaking thing to say, but
Well, no,
like
no,
that's
no. I mean, like,
everybody.
I've always loved how you guys are kind of like an indie rock band for hardcore and metal fans.
Dude,
Um,
awesome.
I mean, and like it makes for like a great, like a really awesome sound and like a really cool stage performance.
Man, thank you.
Is there like a particular genre in particular that you listen to get inspiration when you guys are writing, or?
So it's weird. I was telling Steve this the other day. I had like I realized recently that I haven't listened to stuff that's like us in such a long time. Um, and I think that's good. I think it is. It's hard because like because obviously I think it would probably be good to have some reference and some pointers and stuff. But what made me think of it was I was I was watching a guy, like, so I get into the weirdest like YouTube black holes, but
Me too.
watching a guy, yeah, like I was watching a guy score a commercial, basically. Like he was sitting down
That's
with his
sick.
like MIDI and everything and going, and just like as it's playing, he's kind of writing a thing for it.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, people always ask me if I listen to theatric music, and he goes, I don't fucking listen to theatric music at all. And I was like, that's so sick. Like, so
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that, and I was like, I haven't listened to like a good old fashioned, like big sounding record that like we kind of try for
Mhm.
in quite a while. And it wasn't on purpose, but I definitely I've been listening to a ton of just things that are way different. Like a lot of like a lot of people were trying to play their instruments as slowly as possible. For
Nice.
some reason, that's just what I'm in right now. But
Nice.
yeah, so
I've noticed like there's a lot of other artists that I've talked to who like really stand out with their genres, and they say the same thing where like they haven't listened to anybody that sounds like me in a long time. And
huh,
I think that's how you get such an individual sound like what you guys have. It's
dude,
because you're pulling from
hope
so
it's a
many
good
different
thing.
areas and it comes out in this one particular way. Um,
Sweet. Well, dude, I hope it has a positive effect. Yeah, I guess I would think that if you're not kind of delved into all like things that are similar, I would hope that it would make it so that you have that, just I guess that you make better decisions, or at least decisions that aren't informed by like the direction you're already going, which I guess
Right.
could be cool. So
Well, yeah, no, I've known some people. Well, not known, but I've seen some artists that will like they stay so focused on their one like niche subgenre or whatever it is,
uh-huh.
and that's like their whole world, and so they don't really bring anything new to the table. And if you want to, I mean, if you want to like imitate what you listen to perfectly, I mean, that's cool. That's its own thing, but
Yeah.
it's not quite the same.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I bet that's why there were, and as a promoter, I'm sure you know, I bet that's why there were 200 Balance and Composure copy bands
Yeah, yeah,
in every market. Yeah, for a couple years there. Yeah, I mean, and before that, there was an Attack
yep,
worship band like
yep.
everywhere you went. So, like, it, I guess there's always going to be that. But yeah, well, sweet. Maybe I've stumbled ass backwards into something smart.
That's the best way
That'd
to
be
find
nice.
out.
That'd be very awesome. Yeah.
You guys just released your second full length album, Nothing Is For You, back on May 1st with Tooth and Nail Records.
Yeah.
Honestly, easily one of my favorite albums from last year, dude.
Man, thank you so much.
I absolutely loved the album art for it. Who did the art for you guys? Was there a specific inspiration behind it?
Yes. So let me look her up real quick. I forget what her full name is. But she goes by Lieber, and she is, I forget where she lives. So Steve, our guitar player, for those that don't know, he, like, one of his super close and oldest friends ever, lives in Mexico, and his girlfriend does all of these crazy cool like art pieces. So like the photo from the record is like the actual piece is gigantic. It's really huge. Like,
really?
A whole wall. Yeah.
Damn.
So yeah, it's super cool. So she does. Let me see. Yeah. So her Instagram, for those watching, is it's going to be.
Well, no, it'll be video and audio. So.
Oh, we'll be mirrored here.
Oh, I don't think so. Let's see. I mean, I can see your screen. I can't.
Yeah,
a little bit.
we can cut that part out. But so for those listening, it's her Instagram is LIBERTADALCANTARA. Yeah. But yeah, she is awesome. We've also tagged her on, like, Tigerwine Music is our Instagram, and we've tagged her as well.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But yeah, so like Steve was just looking at some of her art, and like she does all this crazy stuff where she combines, like, I guess you could call it sculpture. It's kind of different than sculpture though. But also, like, she takes her big canvases and like rips them up and has like big pieces hanging off, and then there's super colorful things hanging everywhere, and like so. And there's also like sometimes writing and like things that mean different things. So dude, she's awesome. So we just really wanted to like, I think at a certain point we decided we wanted to do a photo. Mm-hmm. And that was just like easily the coolest idea that was brought forward. We were just like, cool, that's badass. So
nice.
And then the design was done by Ridge Ryan. I'm sure a bunch of people know who he is. He's amazing. If you look him up as well, if you ever need any like design shit done, the guy is like unbelievable. So
sick.
Yeah.
Do you write most of all the lyrics for the band?
Mostly. Steve has been known to as well, and also there was a song on our first record that was where like Sean, our bass player, gave me some lyrics and I figured it out. But like yeah, it's mostly me. Sorry, to answer your question. Yeah,
that's okay.
You're not asking for every instance, but
yeah, no, I am.
It's mostly me. Yeah, Steve sometimes has some some ideas that I like. He lets me kind of run with, but it's mostly
that's
me.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's gonna be an interesting collaborative process when like somebody hands you lyrics and you kind of are you like doctoring it up to like so where it has like a good format for the song or how is that?
Right. Yeah. It's definitely a weird not weird. It's just interesting because I always want to keep it as true to what he had it as possible.
That's cool.
So I basically kind of like punch it up to where it like phonetically works for me to sing
Huh.
better. So yeah, I mean, and like Steve writes great stuff. It, you know, it's just I like sometimes the most I usually do is like just make it translate to my like kind of squeaky little voice a little bit better. So
Do you have a favorite song in the new record?
man, it's a toss up between two, I think. I the last song, Complete, which is about my late
Yeah.
father-in-law. Yeah, my wife's dad.
Okay.
He passed away in 2009, so it's been a really long time. But so I've been thinking like trying to maybe do a song like about that whole situation for a really long time, and it just kind of worked on this one to where the song felt like it was uh like it would like the gravity of the song, the sound of the song with this like sonically, I guess you could say. I don't love that word, but like it matched the, you know, the content for me. I felt, because I just up to that point I had tried to kind of do some things and I was like, yeah, this feels like too riffy or too, you know, like
Gotcha.
it didn't feel
Yeah.
like it was respectful to the content. And so this time, that song kind of got, we never had really written a song in the studio before. We kind of were usually um, like notoriously prepared going to the studio. Like we have everything, you know.
Right. Right.
And this last time we kind of were like, we got this idea that we wanted to try out, and it was really cool to be able to kind of do something while we were there.
Hmm.
It's definitely a different dynamic when you're away from home and you don't have any distractions, and you're like, cool, let's just work on this for hours.
Right.
And yeah, so it just kind of shook out to where it really felt like it matched what I wanted to talk about. But yeah, so that's about that whole situation. Everybody's like reactions to it. And then the song Wigwam
Mhm.
is about my daughter. I say that like it's not very cute. Because I wanted to do a song about her, and like
Huh.
but I was like, dude, in this band, like I just didn't know how that was gonna work. And so I just kind of sat down and I like for most of the record I wrote a lot of melodies first, and I kind of
Uh-huh.
wrote with the way it would sound at the end in mind rather than focusing on the lyrics first. And on this one I kind of took like a dated approach, I guess you could say, and just kind of started writing and like everything I was thinking.
Gotcha.
And it just kind of came out as being this like, I am so terrified to be a father. And
Oh,
so
wow.
that's what it ended up being. And so it was just kind of like, so because it was written and recorded and everything before she was born. And so
Mhm.
it basically is me, because a wigwam is a crude shelter, and I felt like I didn't have my like a home ready for her. I felt like it was just a couple of sticks, you know,
Right. Right.
leaning against one another. And so that's why it's called that. And so I figured that was how, like, my feeling was, man, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm terrified. Like, I hope I don't screw it up. So yeah, I mean, that's all. It's just like an anxiety song,
That's
but
crazy. I didn't know that was the meaning behind those two songs.
sweet.
I mean the last song. I mean I love the intro for that. It's so it has such a raw feeling, and that makes more sense because you were saying that's the one that you guys wrote in the studio, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
and that makes more sense because like it's um I wouldn't have thought that this was like something that was like made like way in advance or something like that. It felt more like a raw organic song, and it was a great closer for the record.
Thank you so much. It definitely, a lot more room was left than
Yeah,
on a lot of the other songs where we kind of just packed a bunch of shit in them. Um,
I love
which
that. That
I
was
guess
great.
there's a time and place for both.
Right, right. um so I also really love the music video that you guys did for Anti Room. You were actually hanging upside down for the line, did you hold me upside down, and when you shook the answers tumble out.
Yeah.
Was that like fun to do? Did that feel like sketch at all?
It was the least sketch it could have possibly been.
Okay, cool.
That said, it was pretty sketchy, but
Oh.
like it was sketchy because of my like level of strength, I guess. So we did the video on this soundstage here in the Springs. There, it was basically with COVID, they didn't have like any, they didn't have, like, I get not any, but they didn't have as much business going in and out, and
Right,
so
right.
we kind of we kind of, so, and they're also friends of friends. And so we talked to Tooth and Nail. And we're like, hey, we'd really love to do it here and just kind of get something in there. And they were so much fun. Like at the very end of the video, we weren't going to do any like crazy things. Like I don't like, for those who have seen it, there's a bunch of like pyro and sparks and stuff at the end.
Yeah.
That we had no intention of doing at the beginning.
I loved it. I thought that was so cool.
So much fun. It like, you just feel like such a badass. And
oh yeah.
They kind of pulled it out at the end. They were like, hey, these are really cool. Do you want to? And we're like, sure, dude, let's do it. So
for the
it ended up being
at the
so
end.
cool. Yeah, it ended up being awesome. So, but yeah, it was like a big, so like in those rooms, there's those big scaffoldings for the lights and stuff. And so they had one coming down from the horizontal one, a vertical one. And they basically like locked it all, snapped it all into place. And then I basically just have my legs like in and up through those things. Okay. And so like one was straight, one knee was straight, and one knee was all cockeyed.
Ow.
Yeah. So it was so funny. There's, I forget whether we've posted this. We may not have yet, but there's like a behind the scenes thing of it where you like can watch Steve and Sean hold me up by my back. And then I'll just be like, okay, ready to go. And then dude, it's so funny to see like just 10 inches above where the frame is. It's so dumb looking. Just a mess. Yeah. But yeah, so it was mega fun. And like every music video, we're sick as hell of the song by the time we were done, but it was worth it.
Nice. I also really loved the animated video that you guys have for Scarecrow.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. Who did the animation for that one?
Dude, let me grab his stuff as well. His name is Keenan Goodwin.
Okay.
Or it might be Goodwine. I'm not sure. I've never asked him how to pronounce his last name, but I forget.
I hate that when you like read it one way in your head and then you're like, I'm afraid to say this out loud. I don't know if this is the right way to say it.
Yeah. I guess he just goes by his name. Keenan, it's Goodwine, like our band name.
Nice.
There you go. But he does a bunch of stuff. He's in Denver. And he's been in bands that we had kind of crossed paths with, and we kind of stayed in touch on the internet. And we just had the idea. We're like, dude, we've done so many, live shot videos. We're doing another one. Let's do something else fun. And so, he was just like so pumped on it, like got it done so fast, and it just killed it. So we kind of told him like a little bit what we wanted to kind of do with it. And every cool thing about that video had nothing to do with us visually. Like he so awesome. He just took it way to a way cooler place than I would have ever thought like that we ever would have.
Yeah. Because like there's imagery in there, like people walking single file into a shark's mouth, a person swallowing a sword, like that shit.
That was
so
literally
sick.
that's the idea that Steve had. That's so funny. That's awesome. That's the one. That's sick. That's the one that we were like, dude, that was our idea. That's dope.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad. Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, I guess that and he just. There's something about those visual arts guys who just know how to communicate in that medium in such a cool way.
Yeah.
Like we, there are things in that video that we never mentioned that communicate ideas of the song so well that he could have never known. And I think he just knew where it needed to sit. And he just kind of like did so much cool stuff. Like the sword eating and like this backstabbing thing and the fire and the face getting cut off.
The face getting cut off with the mask. Yeah.
Dude, that was all him. And like, it's all stuff that totally is relevant to like the content of the song as well. And he just couldn't have known. It's so sick.
What is the meaning behind all the lyrics for that song?
The song is basically like I got really annoyed at some pundit on some dumb news channel, and
gotcha.
Basically it's the idea is when I get to the end of my life, I will look back with like no regrets at all being upset or offended about things that matter.
Fuck yeah.
So like I just thought I just kind of thought there's this whole there's a whole group of people or a whole movement of people who thinks that they're in the right because they upset people, and it's not true.
Yeah, I think I know what you're getting at. I was getting kind of like, I almost felt like it was targeted at like QAnon people a little bit.
So I wrote it before I knew what Q was.
Okay.
But so I wrote it, and we went and recorded it. But it's funny how I look back at it, and you always, there you go, dude. You always hope negative songs get less and less relevant, and it's a bummer when they don't.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I was really frustrated with the whole idea that that you should feel bad about getting upset about something, especially if it really, really matters. You know, so I'm like, I'll just never be embarrassed to like lose my shit over something that means something, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just kind of like, it was also one of those songs where I'm like talking at somebody, but it's also like the content is directed at me too. It's like, you got to keep yourself honest and try and, yeah, it's just nice sometimes to have something down that you can look at and be like, yeah, that was really important for me to say to myself. And so it's something that I can like try and, I guess reference. It's almost like it almost feels like a journal sometimes, and I know that's so
for sure.
Yeah, but
no, it's not cliche. No. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, like all of the records, like all the lyrics that you have for records in the past, you know, it's a window into like who you were at that particular point and what you were going through. You know, it's your art. So
you definitely see how much you've changed for sure.
Yeah.
Onto
a lighter subject. I thought it was really awesome. You guys did that collaboration with Hold Fast Coffee Co. To do the Blackwater blend.
Yeah.
I'm low-key surprised you didn't do something like a collab with Dutch Bros though.
Dude, yeah. So we so for those that don't know, Steve and I work at Dutch Bros here in the Springs. We're like pushing 30 years old, and we're still trying to do
Dutch Bros slaps though. Like, dude,
we're still trying to do the touring thing and do the band thing. So we're still in coffee. But I mean, it's a blast. I just burped. I hope the mic picked it up. But,
I didn't. You have to do it again.
But yeah, a bunch of our friends, like tons and tons of old friends of ours, all work either at shops that partner with Hold Fast, or they roast for Hold Fast, or they do or they have worked on, you know, all kinds of stuff. Like a ton of our friends are in coffee, obviously, because every musician has friends in coffee all over.
Right. So, no, I think that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So we basically, I don't remember who we went through, but we ended up kind of talking to a couple of buds, and it just kind of ended up making sense, because you always try and come up with things that are fun. And I know bands have done coffee and stuff before, but we were doing a pre-order thing, and we're like, dude, I don't want to just do another like a hoodie and a shirt again.
Yeah.
You know, so we ended up just being like, that would be sick, and it would be a cool way to kind of support buds and stuff. But yeah, the name was so funny. It was just like, that was the only option.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like, it was so perfect. It's like right there.
Yeah, there weren't any other ideas at all. Oh, that's not true. It was between that and Nothing Is for Brew.
Oh, that's sick too.
Figured that was more of a koozie print, you know?
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, that's pretty sick. This was a few years ago, but what was it like recording an Audio Tree live session?
Dude, it was terrifying. Well, actually, I say it was terrifying. I almost didn't have time to be scared.
Really?
They are so like, yeah. For those that don't know, it was in 2015, I think we did. And if you look at that video, we are just like babies. We were so young and had no idea what we were doing. Steve was still playing drums, and we were still a 3-piece. And so it was like day 28 of a 30-day thing we were doing. So it was like we were just fried, and it was like the last thing we were doing before we went home. And
right.
But yeah, I remember we had watched, you know, a billion Audio Tree videos and just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And so,
oh yeah.
But dude, they are so pro and so oiled. They just like, you show up, and like the band before us was just getting done. Mm-hmm. And like they get them out of there so quick. Like they definitely use some house gear, which makes it easier, but
Yeah.
We got in there so quick. We kind of chatted with everybody, got acquainted, and they put us in another room. And they're like, cool, we're all sound checked, and they like offered us beers. It's 10:30 a.m. and so we're drinking breakfast beers and like kind of talking and stuff. And then the guy, he basically kind of looks at his watch and he's like, cool, so you guys ready? And we're like, yeah, like, super ready. And so we're all relaxed. Like we go in there, and then the sound guy, he comes through it and he's like, all right, cool, run through like 30 seconds of a song. And we run through 30 seconds of a song, and I look and it's 11:59, and like we were supposed to, like the live stream starts at noon. And so he's like, had us run through 30 seconds. He got done. He goes, cool, going live in 15, 14. And we're like, whoa, like they were so, like their margins were so perfect. They've probably just done it a billion times. But yeah, I was really nervous when we first got there, and then we were just kind of chilling.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it finally came time to kind of start ramping up, getting nervous again, it was like, oh, here we go. So they rule over there. Like if anybody ever has a chance to go there or to go do a session there, like they are so professional. They're so sweet. They're very kind. But yeah, we want, like we were talking, we want redemption so bad. Like we were just little babies who had barely, like it was our second tour ever.
Right.
And so one of these days we'd love to get back there, especially now that Shane's, now that we have a drummer, and like we have the band figured out to a point, like to where we want everybody. And it would be awesome to get back in there, man. It'd be cool.
Yeah, because you've had 2 full lengths since that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got so much more material. You're ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think we've gotten so much better at playing as well. And like, it's one of those things where there's a ton of stuff that I'm sure no one but me would ever notice. There are some things that, nobody could probably put their finger on, but there is something to be said for when you watch a band do a live session and it's just unreal.
Yeah.
And you almost can't even tell why, but it's just because all the little details are so perfect. And yeah, so, and I'm like, we're not there, but we're definitely way closer to there than we were then.
I'm sure you're a lot closer than you think you are, dude. That's nice.
That's very kind.
I was thinking of speaking of audio tree and live sessions, you were talking about how like when a band's live set is just like so crazy. I was listening to I was actually listening to Portrayal of Guilt's audio tree album today, or audio tree set today.
Yeah,
fuck it, it's so
theirs
good.
is awesome.
Oh,
dude, if you didn't watch it, you wouldn't know that there's only a couple of them.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It is so nuts. Yeah, them, and that was so loud. Sorry, you might have to. But anyhow,
I didn't hear
it. Dude, I'm just insecure over here. It's probably all it
is. You've got too good of a mic, man. I can't even hear it.
It's so good. But yeah, dude, they like their audio tree rips. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Them and like those far out sessions that Basement did.
Oh, I haven't heard those. I've seen those.
Oh, like so the audio tree does this thing where they sometimes do like on location stuff, and Basement plays in like a auto body shop.
That's
cars on lifts and shit is badass, and they rip. So good. Yeah,
that's so fucking cool. I think the first time I worked with you guys was when I booked Tigerwine at that wrestling warehouse in Fresno. You guys were on tour Dead Set.
Oh,
remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was you. That was the first time
I think that's where I got this.
Oh my god. Oh, are you going to bed? Yeah. My daughter's going to bed. Yeah. This is Nolan. Mwah. Bye-bye.
Oh my god, hi, she's so cute. Hi.
That's Billy Lane. She's a goon. But yeah, dude, that is so sick. I remember like doing body slams during Dead Set.
Yeah. That was
so dumb.
That was a fun little spot.
Yeah.
Were there any other like fun, weird little spots that Tigerwine played at?
Dude, oh man, yes. Oh man, I'm reeling. Where have we played? Oh man.
There's too many, I'm sure.
Oh, come on. We've played so many like crazy places.
You'll think of them as like as soon as we like stop
Yeah.
recording.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we can move on, and I will keep that thought in the back of my head.
We'll come back and re-record.
Yeah, yeah. I'll just go through like the Facebook feed and be like, where have we even been?
I was actually going through like Rad Music's Facebook events earlier because I was like, that was dead set that you guys were on tour with, right? I was like, when was that? And I'm like looking through, and then I got like stuck in a wormhole of like reminiscing about all those other shows. But
yeah, my it's funny. My brother is a tattooer here, and he did this for the flyer. It's like Dead Set 2017.
That's so tight.
So cool. It was when he was like just getting started, and my daughter was looking at it today, and she picked it up, and I said, "Your uncle did that," and she was like, "Uncle," and like the coolest thing.
That's so cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
I was gonna say during quarantine, you've also been doing more songwriting and producing. Is that right?
I have been songwriting a ton.
Okay.
I think, up till recently, I just didn't think that doing anything in music outside of the band was anything that I was able to do for whatever reason. Like mental stuff is so dumb sometimes.
I feel that.
Yeah, like you can feel so smart or feel like you know what's going on, and then something happens and you realize like I have no clue what I'm doing or no clue what's happening. And so I just kind of always thought that I was like, I'm just going to stick to the band and I'm not going to try to do anything in that world.
Right.
And over the last couple of years, I have done a bunch of different things to try and like monetize hobbies, I guess, to try and not have to work when I'm not on tour.
Right.
And so I did, for the last couple of years, I've been doing a ton of woodworking, and I've been like,
well, that's cool.
It's been so much fun. Like I did this thing where I decided I was going to make stuff out of skateboards. And so I did a bunch of stuff with I did knife making. I did like jewelry and all kinds of stuff out of recycled skateboards. And it's something I'll probably still keep doing.
Huh.
But I did that because I was like, yeah, I can't really record though. Or I can't really do this, or I can't really do that. And what ended up happening is I think I just kind of proved to myself that if I want to learn something, I can. And obviously recording's not that simple, but to get started, it was way more attainable than I thought.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So and I'm not doing anything crazy right now, but
that's still gotta be like a great feeling though when you realize that you can do something and you're like, oh, yeah, I can do this. Like that's gonna be a great feeling.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've just been learning a ton, and the guy who made our record, Jeremy Wurst, is amazing, and he's just been such a cool like mentor. And Steve, our guitar player, he's been like demoing our whole new record, and so been learning a ton from just both of those dudes, and trying to consume as much as I can. And because for me, it's all about songwriting.
Right.
I like, this is basically all this stuff in this room is an excuse to be able to write songs. And so, and
Gotcha.
That's the thing I know that I at least have experience doing, and that hopefully like I can get figured out. And so, yeah, so it basically, I realized I don't need to try and be this like insane, I don't need to like be an Unreal producer. I don't need to be an Unreal like mixing engineer at this point. Like I just need to write cool songs, which I think I can do.
Right. I know you can.
So I'm just trying to do that a bunch and see what happens basically. So I'm definitely not anywhere yet, but I realized I'm pushing 30 and I'm working at a coffee shop, which is not the worst thing in the world. No. But I'd like to be chasing another dream now that I've achieved like a bunch of gosh, that sounds so whack to say. I've achieved a bunch of dreams, but like I've done a bunch that I never thought I'd do with the band. And so I think it might be time to while that's still happening and mm-hmm. like, maybe even at its peak right now, do something that can kind of branch off of that and like they can kind of feed each other. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, what kind of songs you've been writing?
I've been doing a bunch of very, very ambient, very acoustic guitar driven stuff. So it's been very simple, really, really, really simple. So I'm trying to start as simple as possible to figure out how to do everything.
Yeah.
So a lot of like big, you know, like sampled stuff is basically what I like. So,
Right.
I'm trying to do a bunch of like cinematic covers and stuff as well. So
That's cool.
like, yeah, so I'm just trying to find a good place to start. So we'll see. But yeah, it's basically like at this point I am in my basement screwing around like everyone else with hopefully a goal in mind is the only difference between me and the guy down the street. So, and if that's all it ever is, that's fine, but hopefully not.
I'm excited to hear whatever it is that you make. So, you mentioned woodworking. I noticed also that you built a half pipe in your backyard last summer.
Yeah,
that's dope. That's
dude.
Dope.
Yeah, I always wanted a mini ramp, and I used I paid for it completely with woodworking stuff. So
wow,
like it was awesome. So that was so much fun. Like before I had my daughter, I was out there every day. And now that, you know, the like band stuff's been a little busier, which is really cool. And being a dad is awesome, but it doesn't, which I mean, it's nice because I have it right in my backyard, so I can go do that whenever I feel like. It's just been a little less lately, but yeah. Cause I realized I'm like, dude, I'm not going to be able to go to the skate park and I'm probably all done street skating for the rest of my life. Like for the most part, the ground is too hard, man.
Yeah, it's never getting softer. I don't know why.
I know, but softer, I am
hard.
Yeah, I'm getting so much softer. Yeah, and so the mini ramp's a lot easier on the knees and stuff too. But yeah, which is such an old person thing to say,
but it looks so cool. Like, why not?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's so cool. Yeah, it's so fun. It's also definitely a flex too. When people come
who cares?
Over, it's like, oh yeah, this whole thing.
Oh, this thing, I just built it in a day. No big deal. What's up?
All good. Yeah.
Also, back to like producing and stuff. Songwriting, I should say. I noticed that you're on Featured X. That's fucking cool.
Absolutely. I didn't even. Yeah, that's also been a huge reason. Featured X is badass. If anybody doesn't know what it is, it's basically like when you have a feature, or if you have someone you want on your song, you used to have to just hit them up and hopefully they'd done it before and they had a plan of action and they had a rate. But most of the time it was like a bunch of like all of us, like people that just like tour around and stuff, are all a bunch of idiots. And so most of the time you'd hit somebody up and they'd just be like, dude, I have no idea what to do. And so what it basically is they host this like really sweet looking, really cool, really easy site where it's just anyone you could ever think of or anyone you could ever want to feature on a song. It has all their info and everything you could need to know. And you do everything through the site. You make the offer, you accept or refuse, you send lyrics or ideas. And then when from my end or from the features end, they either go get it recorded or do it themselves or whatever. And then they send everything, they upload straight to the site, it's just like makes it so easy for like a bunch of dudes who don't really know what they're doing. So yeah, it basically, the first one I did, I went to a friend's studio and we banged it out and it was super fun and it worked really great. And we just kind of got to talking and I was just like, I think I could at least do that. Like I could grab a mic and I could just having made a couple of records. I think that, I didn't make them, but like having sung on a couple of records, I figured, I was like, dude, I know where everything's supposed to be and I know how it's supposed to sound at every point. And I was like, I bet I could figure it out. And so once that kind of got figured out, it was like, okay, it was like a good breaking in point. And so then the next one I did it here, and now we're doing one here in the next couple of weeks, I think, and it's just been unbelievably fun. And so
nice.
It just kind of opened my eyes to, like, I guess confidence isn't really the right word because I'm not confident yet, but at the same time, it was really nice to be able to have a moment where I'm like, I can at least not make a fool of myself, which is awesome. Like at the very least,
that's a good feeling.
I always thought that. I was like, I would make an absolute fool of myself, and to like kind of realize, I think I could get by without being an idiot. So
that is the goal and everything. I'm like, I could do this without feeling.
Dude, that's the jumping off point for sure. Yeah.
Is there like, are there artists that you like really want, that you're looking to collaborate with, or is there like a fantasy artist that you could collaborate with?
Oh man, I don't know. Dude, it's funny. My brain always goes to just all my buddies.
Hell like, yeah, that's still tight.
I think that Steve and I always talk about how the whole band thing has all just been a complete excuse to just be with buds.
Yeah.
Or like to go make friends or whatever. And it just, sometimes this all, like, as much fun and as fulfilling and as beautiful as it all is, and as much as I feel like touring is the coolest thing I've ever done, so there are times where it's just like, dude, I am just like 4 states away, just like doing nothing, like, and dying laughing with my boys, you know, like it's awesome. Like the coolest thing to be able to have such a cool excuse to do that.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely. I mean, that's all it was when I was going to shows. You know, I would just, you know, I would tag my location or whatever, and I'd be like, all right, cool, just come and talk shit. Like, you don't have to even go to the show. Like, just come and talk to me. Like, yeah.
Oh, dude, that is so sick. Yeah, it definitely feels like a glorified version of that sometimes, which I mean, it was just not a bad thing. I don't think. I think that's awesome.
You were talking about like just your friends. I'm still waiting for the Tigerwine and Comrade split. I think that'd be sick,
dude. Oh man, that would be so much fun. Those guys are the reason anything ever happened with us. Like,
really?
They came and played in Denver in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe no. I think it was 2014. Them and Household came and played a couple of shows in Denver. They played 2 nights in Denver in a row at different venues.
That's sick.
Why? But, yeah, we like jumped on the show because we'd heard of Household somehow or another, and like, well, I say somehow, they had a hype at the time. They were killing it.
Yeah.
But we went and played this skate park with them in Denver, and met everybody and like hit it off, and they were like, yeah, we're playing at 7 Circle. There's like another venue in Denver. Like, we're playing there tomorrow night. We're like, because they asked if we wanted to go play, and we're like, of course.
Yeah.
You know, like, we were like, it'll feel like a tour, dude.
Yeah.
Us being all like 18, 19.
Right.
And and which is funny because all the Household dudes were, 16, 17, 18.
Yeah.
Just unreal. Like doing a 2-month tour, like being crazy. But and so we just like kept in touch with Comrade super, super closely, and they ended up bringing us on a whole trip a few, like 6 months later, I think, something like that, maybe a little more. And yeah, we did. That was like our second tour ever. We shared a van with them. Like, we did.
Oh, nice.
We drove their van to the Audio Tree. Was what it was. And so, I used Joe's head on that.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was really, really fun, man. We did a bunch of traveling with them, and then they basically told Blood and Ink about us. And that's how Blood and Ink happened. And then because of Blood and Ink, there was a lot of way more festival opportunities and way more touring opportunities, and just like people knowing about us that had the ability to help us, I guess, in a lot more capacity than would have if we never did. And I don't think we ever would have signed a Tooth and Nail had we not signed a Blood and Ink. I don't think. Wow. So it's just crazy how every little step kind of has such a big effect, you know. It's
Oh,
nuts.
definitely.
Like there's things that you just would never think about, like just going and playing a show 45 minutes away and like chilling and having a good time is like, now I get to, now whenever this is all over I get to go tour again, like
Yeah,
you know, just
yeah,
because of all that. And I get to go like play all these, you know, dumb songs that like are such a like giant deal to me in front of strangers. And that
yeah.
like is, yeah, that is the coolest shit ever, man. It's badass.
I agree. uh, that the skate park that you mentioned, would that constitute as one of your one of those weird little spots that you guys played at?
Dude, it was, I mean, as far as skate parks, playing skate parks go, it was weird. Because we played like the bands would play like 50 100 feet away from the skate park, and so there's just like skating happening. And like, because usually when you play a skate park show you're like right there, like you're right in it.
Yeah,
Which I mean, it's probably a little less dangerous to play a little bit away.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a gigantic like warehouse, so it was a little weird. But dude, oh, that's such a bummer. I can't think of anything cool. I know
Wait.
we played dumb places.
Wait,
But,
how many skate parks have you played then?
oh, a couple. I had a cool little. It wasn't cool at all. I had a dumb little band in like high school, in like early high school, where we played a couple of skate park shows. It was cool, but we had no business being there at all.
Why is that?
We were like a Here's a Rise Records band once, kind of band.
Nice.
Yeah, with the deep V's and like trying to sing higher than any other human being.
I was guilty of having the V-necks too, so don't feel bad about that.
Oh yeah, it's terrible, unforgivable, man.
I was going through like some old boxes at my parents' house, and like I just kept finding like V-necks. And I'm just like, what was I doing? Like,
dude, it's so funny how much at the time you're like, this is who I am, dude.
Yeah, this is me. Cool. This is my style. It's individual to me, and it's sick.
Yeah, it's sick. And you know what? When all my friends stop doing it, I'm gonna still do it.
Yeah, because they're posers, and I'm not. Like,
I'm not a poser. Yeah, yeah.
I say
it's the next
now.
thing, dude. It takes so long to learn, man.
Yeah,
I do, and I'm sure I still do it. I'm sure there's things I'm gonna look back and be like, man, I was only doing that because everyone I knew was.
I feel it.
God.
Yeah, I'm talking shit on myself now, but like I'm also got a couple boxes here of shirts I'm selling on Depop. So like,
dude,
have I really changed? I mean,
yeah, dude. The Depop game is like, it's funny. I always post things on there and I forget I posted them, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, word.
Yeah,
like Papa's gonna go get a new pair of shoes or something.
Hell yeah, dude.
But
yeah, I found a bunch of my old like scene shirts, and like they're all like smalls, so like I couldn't fit into those when I was wearing them. So like why, like I definitely can't fit into them now, so I'm trying to sell a lot of them.
It didn't work then. Yeah,
dude,
yeah. I was gonna say, at that skate park show where we met Household, like they were all, you know, and as they still are now, like super like cool and very, very like, you know, visually conscious people, I would say.
Gotcha.
They dress very well. Yeah.
They got the drip.
And I showed up in like khaki shorts and a small Kublai Khan shirt. Like, unreal, dude.
Dude,
I'm pretty sure it's the only small they ever made. It was so lame. So lame to have a small shirt in a band like that.
Have you seen Kublai? Okay, so the singer from Kublai Khan just did guest vocals for that. Was it Signs of the Swarm or Signal of the Swarm?
Something like that. Yeah, it was something. I actually hadn't heard of it, but I saw on his Instagram, like, dude, this is so sick,
dude. And I'm just happy that the singer from Molotov Solution is like still doing stuff, because he still got it. Like, it's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. You wouldn't think he'd be able to anymore.
Yeah, I mean, because Molotov Solution just hasn't been a band for so long.
Yeah.
And I was listening to their last record, Insurrection, I was listening to that. That was 2010, I think, is when it came out, or 2011.
Wow.
I'm listening
That's
to it. I'm
funny.
like,
I wouldn't have even guessed that like that recently. I know that sounds weird.
right,
If someone would have asked me, I would have been like, yeah, like 2009, I guess.
right,
I don't
yeah,
know why
yeah.
I would have
that,
said
that,
that.
that makes more. That was the height of deathcore and metalcore at that time.
It's
Of that
true.
sort of brand.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
but
dude, speaking of Kublai Khan, they were at that point they were already doing so much, like
oh yeah,
just getting peanuts in return. Like
which is
that is
which is
so
makes no sense. I mean,
I
like that is just
know.
like some of the toughest fucking hardcore I've ever
It's so
heard.
sick. And dude, you talk about like some a band that never asks for more than they're worth and like get so much less than they deserve, dude.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's unreal.
I
Unreal. They're so amazing.
I just showed Kublai Khan to one of my friends, and it was like, I've never heard of it. He's like, I can't believe I've never heard of this band. I was like, dude, this
Yeah.
makes me want to like grab a pickup by the truck bed and just swing it around like a Hulk. Like it's just like this is the toughest shit ever, man.
Dude, because I definitely can when
Right? Yeah.
when
No,
they're
obviously
playing.
I can do that, but
Yeah,
when I listen
like
to that music,
when
I
they're
know I
playing
can.
for
Yeah.
sure. You can. Yeah, yeah. They are a band too that there are a few that you see that when they fire up when you're in the room and you're just like, this doesn't sound like it's from Earth.
No.
You know, like when they just like at the beginning and they're just like, let's go. And
Yeah.
it's like, if I die, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, them, like I remember that feeling when with them, and then with Oh Brother as well.
Older
When Oh
brother.
Brother, like Oh Brother.
Oh
You
brother.
ever heard of
Okay.
them?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
the way they sound, like the way they sound on records is unbelievable.
Mhm.
But in the room, it's like they get fired up, and it just doesn't make sense how gigantic it sounds. Like
Yeah.
they do that like Russian circles thing, like where
Mhm.
everything's just like huge and all the tones are really really
Yeah.
over the
Yeah.
top. But I don't know what they're doing different, but it's one of those things where it is so simultaneously like gigantic and chaotic,
Mhm.
but at the exact same time like so beautiful sounding. Like everything's very very clear, and they like everything kind of like jumps out of the mix as well. I don't know how you even
No,
go
I
about
know
that
exactly what you mean.
live.
I mean, yeah,
Unreal.
I actually got to work with Russian circles. It's funny you bringing them up.
Really?
I worked one of their shows in Ventura, and yeah, that was in like I've worked with several bands that are just like a wall of noise, but like Russian circles had a very specific it was like this wall, but like all the notes still managed to find you perfectly.
Yeah,
It was very interesting.
dude. That is another like just unbelievable band. Like they are like otherworldly, and they make music that's so different for being what it is. You know,
Yeah.
like there are bands that quote unquote sound like Russian circles, but there really aren't.
No,
You know?
not at all.
Like, there's not any bands that are actually like them. You know, like yeah, that's definitely a special thing.
They're a sick band. All right. Well, I got one last question for you.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if you're gonna understand this because like it's a bit of a deeper cut, but like I gotta know, what is this road favorite crucial mac and cheese?
Oh, it's so dumb. Yes. Okay. So, dude, Crucial Mac is something we haven't done in a long time. We definitely hadn't done it. So Shane, when Crucial Mac was a thing, so we met Shane on our first tour ever, which was like we did 5 days with Comrades. And Shane was filling in on drums for them.
Okay.
And I remember we like from day one, we have always been annoyingly committed to having more fun than anyone else on tour is kind of our unspoken thing. It to the point where I know we've annoyed people really bad in the past, but I think we're a lot better now. But like there would be times where we'd pull up to the venue and we would get out of our vehicle and run over and like shake a stranger's van. Like at that point, you know, it's just like we got to know them as time went on, but it was just like, hope they don't think this is weird, which of course they did. But so I remember we we met Shane and we bombed his Instagram with eggplants. We just like took every caption from every post he put up there and just rewrote it with eggplant emojis all over it. Like so stupid. Like took all night. And like this dude, the next day he was just like, what is going on? Like, why would you take so much time to do such a dumb thing for such little reward as well? But that is like where we hit it off with Shane.
Nice.
And so for those that don't know, Shane drums in our band, and he lived in Pennsylvania, and we were basically we were good buds long distance with him for a while. And we got into this like tour cooking thing with Shane,
okay,
where we would try to make things that were good with garbage, like, I mean, quote unquote garbage ingredients that are awesome. But like traditional mac was basically, it's mac and cheese, obviously, that is anything that either you have in the van or that whoever you're staying with is willing to give to you from their home. Like one of the first ones we ever did there, it was Sweet Baby Ray's, Dr. Pepper, the sauce, and like mustard and like all kinds of different things that would go on it. But it was just mac and cheese because you can go buy macaroni noodles and cheese and throw whatever in it. And sometimes it was garbage, but most of the time it was really good. And then Shane ended up, he and his wife, so he got married and he and his wife moved out here, and they lived here for a few years. They just moved back, but we definitely stopped doing it when they came out because I guess it wasn't, I don't think we meant to stop, but it definitely wasn't a traveling thing anymore. So
gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, he sent in a question to our audio tree about it.
Yeah, that's where I got it from.
because he, like, oh, so funny. He just ended up asking this question, like not thinking that they were gonna pick it at all. And like we're just like, yeah, we know the idiot who wrote that. Like, sorry to waste you guys' time. Oh, so dumb.
They also mentioned that you guys have a love for Iron Giant.
Oh yeah. It's the best movie ever.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah.
Well, it's the movie that the four of us love most between us. For sure. I think we all have favorite movies other than that, but it is like that's like the movie. Like we watched it a ton, and like, man, it's so good.
What a specific pick! I haven't seen that in so long too. Like it was an amazing movie. I don't know why I haven't seen it in so long, but
yeah, baby, dude, yeah. Vin Diesel's first, well, not his first, but a breakout role for him.
Really? Yeah, I didn't even know he was in that.
He voiced the Giant. Yeah.
What?
It's unreal. Yeah, the guy is. He's more versatile than you think. Well, not anymore. Yeah,
I don't know, man. All the Fast and Furious movies slap. So
yeah, he's very typecast now.
Yeah,
he just plays himself in every movie.
Exactly. I'm here for it though.
God damn it, dude! I'm looking through my phone trying to find a crazy place we've played. Like, I mean. I guess the only one that comes to mind now is like it's not even that anymore, but the Charleston in Bremerton used to be an adult film theater.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so like it still feels little like it, and so it's one of those things where it doesn't really exist anymore, and so like you get to kind of like see at least what the inside of a place like that would look like or whatever. And so there's like booths and stuff, and so they've taken out all like the seating, but yeah. So it's a crazy little spot. Yeah, but it's super fun. But man, that's not really that weird. It's still just it's a stage. It's got a system.
That's super weird. I mean, like, because how long had it been like dormant from that sort of industry?
I think at least I bet it wasn't a theater for 15 years. 20 years
wow. Okay.
Before it was yeah. So
okay.
It's already still like far removed.
That's still just like that's so weird. Like I mean, I'd want to walk through that and be like, all right, was everything like repainted? Like, is it okay? Is this sanitary?
I know, dude. Yeah, it's so funny. Like, because I remember when the second time we went and played there was when we like someone told us like because the owners of the place or the people that run it are like the sweetest couple of all time. They're so good. But yeah, they just like they were like, yeah, no, we just that's what it used to be, and just kind of try to keep the character of it. I was like, that's awesome, dude. That's so sick.
That's pretty cool.
I respect that. Yeah.
Nice.
God dang it, dude. I know that there's been crazy places. I bet you if any of like the dudes in the band are listening to this, they're like screaming at me right now.
Yo, we can always just put them in the bio if you would like. We can have a follow-up episode. It can happen.
Oh, true. Dude, yeah, I come prepared for sure.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's been fucking great talking to you, man.
Dude, another instance. What an incredible excuse to catch up, dude. That's awesome.
Oh, dude, for sure. I miss talking to you. I miss being able. I mean, like, I'm used to there being like somebody sound checking their drums in the background while we're trying to talk, or something. Somebody's trying to like buy a ticket or something as I'm trying to talk to you. I'm trying to wristband somebody while making eye contact with you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, dude. Oh my gosh, yeah. And then last time I saw you trying to make sure I didn't, like stayed conscious. Yeah. That was we've referenced this a couple times for those that don't know the story. The boys in Silent Planet asked me to jump off of the stage while they were playing, and I ended up jumping off at the same time in the same direction as a kid that was twice my size, and everyone caught him and not me. So
I just like that show was so cool, so fun until it wasn't.
Dude, I know it was so good. I ruined it.
No, you didn't ruin that. No. It was awkward for plenty of other reasons. But it was just like
I went to the emergency room. The security guard at the emergency room knew Mitch from Silent Planet.
Oh, really?
I guess they went to high school together, and so that was the only reason they let Steve come back with me, because he was like, "Dude, look at him." And he said that the guy looked at me, and I was like by myself. He's like, "Dude, he has no idea what's going on." Yeah, like so.
We'll have to have a makeup show.
I'll give the boys some more notice and see if they all can come in, because I'm sure someone would have thought of something, but.
Oh no! I mean like a makeup live show too. I mean, like we'll get you guys when you guys come back through Fresno. We'll get you guys at Strummers or something. There's rafters for you to hang off of instead of just a straight stage dive. So
yeah, dude. It's awesome. Sick. Hell yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, any last comments? Anything you want to plug? Any last words?
Man, yeah. I mean, we're demoing a new record right now. We're always writing. So
no fucking way.
Yeah, yep. So we're doing demos ourselves. So we're like, obviously none of it is like earth-shatteringly cool sounding yet. So it's all a bunch of skeletons and a bunch of ideas. So that's happening. I mean, at some point expect an announcement for a record or for something.
That's so tight. I thought to ask that, but like I just thought it was too soon after like the last record. I didn't think.
Yeah, I think it would have been had it not been for COVID, because we would have just now been finishing up touring the record. I think probably. Gotcha. With breaks in between, obviously, but yeah. So it was just like we have all this time. So and then I guess even if it's a while, we still maybe we'll write 100 songs and record 10 of them. So
I mean, and then you can have all this bonus material for later when you want to release that later on in time, like the lost tapes or whatnot. So
dude, do some Bob Dylan. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if anybody's listening that wants to write songs, let's co-write, dude. I'm trying to do as much as I can right now. So
that'd be tight.
Yeah, baby. Or hit up my featured X if you want to do a song together, like anything like that. I'm so ready to be doing stuff like that, especially with all this extra time. So anybody wants to write music, let's do it.
Awesome, man. Well, man, it was fucking great talking to you. I miss you, and hopefully we'll be able to hang out in person sometime.
Yeah, baby. I miss you, big dog. It was so good to talk to you.
Definitely, bro. All right, man.
All right. Well, sweet, dude. I'll see you soon, hopefully.
Definitely.
All right. Nighty night.
See you, man. Thank you guys so much for checking out the latest episode of Rad Chats with Hayden of Tigerwine. Check out all the links below for Tigerwine and for Rad music. And feel free to hit that like and subscribe.